Welcome in today's video where I'll be painting Snowy Night in acrylics and oils, and I thought we talk about why I decided to paint this, the history to the place, a bit about me and the meaning behind this painting. I started using acrylic airbrush a few years ago, and I completed a few pieces that turned out alright. I applied this technique to my latest New York painting, which I'm still working on and I can't wait to show you. Airbrushing helps me quickly block in the colours I want for my underpainting. For the underpainting, I chose a limited colour palette of purple, blue and red, since the reference photo is actually quite dark. Using purple in the darker areas helps me establish my values for when I apply the oils later. I also added some drips to indicate where the lights will come from, including the cop hams, neon signs and traffic lights. Once I had the main structure blocked in, I moved on to the cars, still using acrylics to capture the main shapes and correct values. The intention was to let some of these colours show through the oils, but later on you'll see that it didn't work out as I planned. This piece was an experiment to see how I could use acrylics underneath oils in my own style, but ultimately the oils took over. Snowy Night is based on a street in Minneapolis, USA. I had to do some research on this street, and very interesting what I found. The Copham is actually an apartment with 18 floors and has 120 apartments with rich history that reflects the architectural and cultural evolution of the city. Built in the early 20th century, it represents the era transition towards urban living and rise of multi-family housing. Originally designed to accommodate the growing number of residents in Minneapolis during a time of industrial expansion, the building showcase features typical of the period, such as high ceilings and spacious layouts. Over the decades, it housed a diverse array of tenants, contributing to the vibrant community life in the area. I came up with the idea of painting cards on a street during a heavy snowfall, with lights reflecting on the snowy ground. However, I had trouble finding a decent reference image, so I went to Unsplash and found a photo that I instantly fell in love with. This gave me a clear direction for my own work. I wanted the snow to play a significant role, especially with all the lights from vehicles, buildings and traffic signals reflecting onto the snowy wet ground. I knew it would be very challenging since I've never done anything like this before. I've always loved the snow, and I remember when I was a kid I used to go out in the freezing temperatures and play in it for hours, build snowmen, snowball fights with my friends, even though my mum was very worried about me catching a chest infection because of the cold, but I just wanted to have fun. In the UK, snow is actually quite rare, making it a special occasion when it does fall. I often visit Liverpool, one of the major cities in the UK, mainly because my hospital is located there, I remember a time in my 20s when I saw it snowing while I was stuck in hospital for about 2 weeks. On that snowy day, I thought, I need to get to the city. I quickly put on my warm coat, scarf and gloves. Then I walked to the train station. Once I arrived in the city, I experienced one of the best moments of my life. The heavy snowfall created a magical atmosphere of people leaving footprints in the snow, cars driving past and turning it into slush, and the lights from the street lamps, traffic signals, buildings and vehicles reflecting off the ground around me. It's a moment I will never forget, and this painting, Snowy Night, captures that tranquil feeling in time. Snowy Night holds a profound meaning for me. It helps me to relive some of my best moments in the snow, serving as a window into a place of calm and fond memories. Even during a challenging time in hospital, this painting transports me back to the joy of being in the city and a child, playing in the snow with friends, building snowmen and having snowball fights. This piece captures not just the beauty of a winter landscape, but also the emotions tied to those experiences. It evokes a sense of nostalgia and peace, reminding me that even in difficult times, there can be moments of joy and wonder. I hope Snowy Night offers you a similar escape. My wish is for it to help you relive your own cherished memories in the snow, whether it's from childhood or more recent experiences. Let it serve as a comfort refuge, allowing you to step away from the chaos of everyday life. May this painting remind you of the beauty and tranquility that snow can bring, inviting you to pause and reflect on those special moments that warm your heart. Just as the snow blankets the world in calm, I hope it brings you a sense of peace and joy. If you're interested in this piece, I have limited edition prints available. Click the link below to visit my website and explore more of my work and story. Before I painted this, I had only been painting with oils for about 2 years. All the pieces I've done within them 2 years, they have not been very good. What I truly love about oils is their creamy texture and how beautifully they blend, allowing for rich, vibrant colours. Transitioning from acrylics, which I had used for 5 years, was quite jarring at first. However, it turned out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made in my artistic journey. Working with oils has opened newer venues for my creativity and skill development. Despite the challenges I faced along the way, I now feel much more confident in my abilities. I've learned to embrace the unique quality of oils, and I appreciate the depth and nuance they bring to my work. Although mastering oils can be very tricky, I've discovered with persistence and practice, improvement is absolutely achievable. This experience has not only enhanced my artistic expression, but has also taught me the value of patience and dedication in the creative process. One of my favourite elements of this painting was capturing the blurry lights. I found this aspect particularly enjoyable because it allowed me to experiment with different techniques to achieve the desired effect. I used several mops to create soft, diffused edges which really enhanced the overall ambience. Additionally, I opted for a palette knife and thick paint to bring out the vibrancy of the colours. This technique added texture and depth, making the lights pop against the darker background. The process, I relied on the underpainting as a guide for positioning the lines of the lights. This approach helped me maintain consistency and ensured that everything came together cohesively, resulting in captivating visuals experience. I'm gradually developing the snow ground in the painting, taking care to ensure the lights from the cars and buildings are completed first. After establishing those lights, I applied thick paint to create texture of snow on the road. Once I achieved that initial layer, I used my palette knife to blend the paint, creating the sense of movement as the cars were gliding through the snow. This part of the process was particularly challenging. I found myself experimenting with various ideas for depicting the snow, which led to multiple repainting sessions. At one point, the snow looked more like rain, which wasn't the effect I wanted. To address this, I focused on adding more texture to the paint and incorporating the additional lights along the road to enhance the atmosphere. I also revisited some of the lights on the cars, realizing they needed to be brighter and applied with thicker paint to stand out against the snowy backdrop. This attention to detail helped bring the scene to life and added depth to the overall composition. I absolutely love how this painting turned out, although I do wish I painted it larger. I've learned a lot of skills from using acrylics as an underpainting for oils on top. As I mentioned earlier, my initial plan was the underpainting layer to show through in the final piece, but that didn't quite work out. I think the size of the painting limited me, and I got a bit too focused on the oils. Overall, I'm very happy with the final result, and this experience has made my future paintings much stronger. You may have noticed that I added telephone wires into the painting, but unfortunately I lost all the recordings of that process. Thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed watching Snowy Night come to life and me talk about the process and talk about me. I plan to create more videos like this. So if you have any feedback, I would greatly appreciate it. I was pretty nervous making this and releasing it. I am open to suggestions for improvement. I have more videos coming featuring San Francisco, New York and London. I look forward to showing you how my style continues to develop and evolve.